I'm really hoping everything in front of me is gonna fit in that pot. Do y'all test this? Hey, I'm Megan Mitchell and I'm here in the Thrive Market Test Kitchen. And today I'm gonna show you a great way to use up your leftover turkey carcass. Skin and the bones and the cartilage. I'm gonna show you how to make bone broth, homemade bone broth. It's great for your gut. It also is, has collagen in it. You know me, I love collagen. Hair, skin, nails. It's great for sipping, or you can add it to a soup, and it just has a lot of nutrients and vitamins, and like I said, collagen. And I'm making my bone broth today in an Instapot, in a pressure cooker, but I also have two other ways to show you. I have the stovetop version and a slow cooker version in the recipe below. So if you want to do it that way, click below. But before I get started, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you're wondering what Thrive Market is, it's an online market that sells non-GMO and organic products straight to your door. And guess what? They sell turkeys. Yep, and they sell herbies and everything else, so be sure to check it out. All right, let's get started on this bone broth. This is my leftover carcass. I have the wingtips, I have some skin, bones, and I broke it down so it could fit in here because turkeys are big. So add this into your inner pot. If you haven't seen my turkey episode, I feel like we're gonna link it somewhere for you to watch it. And I show you my tips and tricks for seasoning your bird, carving it, and obviously this is what to do with the leftovers. And I also show you a mean gravy. Come here, baby. All right. I'm gonna stuff that down in. All right, you can kind of add whatever you want. I've made bone broth with just herbs and spices like salt, star anise, peppercorns, but if you want, you did just make Thanksgiving dinner, so you probably have a lot of these things on hand, but you don't need to add them. But I'm adding carrots, celery, and onions, but you don't need to. You can make it mellow. You can add turmeric. I like to add turmeric to mine. You can add, like I said, any dried spices, any dried herbs. I'm using some fresh herbs. I have parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. If you didn't get that, that's parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Tuck those babies on. All right, a couple bay leaves. So in an Instapot or electric pressure cooker, you can make bone broth in about 2 hours. On the stovetop, it's sometimes 6 hours, up to 8 hours, 10 hours. And then in a crock pot, it can be anywhere from 12 to 14 to 16 hours because it's obviously low and slow. You wanna just cook it for a while. And the difference between bone broth and stock is it just has a lot of gelatin and collagen, and you're using all of the joints and the skin, and it just has all of those gut benefits for you. Onion. Sometimes I make it without onion. Keep out the onion and the garlic as I add onion and garlic to mine. 2 garlic cloves. Once again, you can leave all of this whole. You don't need to chop it up finely. I actually like to leave it whole because I find it easier to scoop out. If it's tiny little pieces, I'm like, this is crazy. It's a mess. So keep it whole. Peppercorns. You could add cumin seeds, you could add coriander seeds, star anise. This is Himalayan pink salt. Sometimes I actually use citrus. I'll cut up oranges and lemons or Meyer lemons and I'll put them in. It just adds a nice acidic bite to my bone broth. But another important part of bone broth is apple cider vinegar with its mother. If you don't know what apple cider vinegar with its mother is, Google it because I'm not going to tell you. But it just has all those good benefits. Pour it in. And then, depends on how large your carcass is, you need cold water enough to cover everything. So it might be 6 cups, it might be 8 cups, it might be 10 cups. It just depends how much stuff is in here. So cold water and pour it till it covers all of the ingredients. And a little more. I don't want to go past that max fill line. Let me just push some of this down. Just want everything as submerged as possible. Some of it's going to float back up because of the water. Looks great. Put your lid on and go from venting to sealing. I just want to hit pressure cook, normal, high pressure, and I want to go all the way up to 2 hours. Okay. And the thing about if you've never cooked with a pressure cooker or electric pressure cooker, if you've never used one, it will make a noise pretty soon. It'll make like a beep, that noise. And then it'll take, depending on how much stuff you have in your actual pressure cooker, it'll take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually come to pressure. So it's not going to start cooking immediately. But once it comes to pressure, it should beep, and then the 2 hours will pop up here, and it'll start to count down. So if you're like, what's happening? It says on, I don't know. Once you see the 2 hours or whatever you put the time on pop up, that's when you know it's pressurized and it's gonna start cooking. All right, my bone broth has cooked for 2 hours. I let it naturally pressure release. I can immediately smell the star anise. Okay, so this is how I like to handle getting all of this out and straining it. So I have a large bowl lined with a fine mesh strainer and cheesecloth. You can also use a nut milk bag for this because it's great, it catches everything. And then I have a discard bowl. So I'm gonna remove all of the large pieces first to this bowl, and then I'll ladle what's left through the mesh, through the cheesecloth. And it'll fall apart on you a little bit, but that's okay. So yeah, I just like to take all of these large bits out, and then I'll ladle the liquid just to catch any tiny little bones, the peppercorns. There's nothing worse than biting into a whole peppercorn. Let me tell ya. That looks great. So just save this and, do whatever you want. No, throw this away. Let's move this a little closer. Because you want to have your bowl as close to the pot as possible. Ladle, and then just ladle the broth through the cheesecloth. My bowl's getting a little full. So you can see why I wanted to take out all of the larger pieces first, because this would have just been full of the bones and the cartilage and the onions and everything. So I want to get that out of the way. It smells so good. And at this point, it's ready to go. You can drink it. Or what I like to do is I cool it down. I put it in my fridge, I cool it down, and then I put it in containers and I put it in my freezer. So I always have bone broth on hand. Whenever I need it, I can add it to my soups. I can just drink it. I can do whatever I want with it, but it's a great way when you have a leftover chicken carcass or a turkey carcass or whatever, make a big batch of this and then keep it in your freezer so you can have it whenever you need it. I hope you make this recipe. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. And happy Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day. You can find all the ingredients to use at thrivemarket.com/prepschool. See you later. Want to go quick? You can do a quick release, but there's no need. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like literally, what is, oh my gosh.